We're here back in the Fantasy Bar, big Friday night in MLB. I've got 6 of my favorite plays on FanDuel and DraftKings, including some higher end bats. I think we're going to get some low ownership on. We'll get some correlation with a game stack started. My favorite starting pitcher on the night. And of course, my favorite hitter of the night. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Hope everybody out there getting ready to kick off that weekend here. Thank you for stopping by the Fantasy Bar and checking out today's video. Now, before we get into the plays, as always, you know the drill. Take a second, click that thumbs up button here real quick. Appreciate that, guys. That is the tip jar here in the Fantasy Bar, so thank you for that. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, get notified when these videos are coming out. Lastly, head over to scoresandodds.com/beer. That link in the description of the video. All the sports betting information you need to help make yourself a more profitable sports bettor. Go and check it out today. Scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, 6 picks for you here tonight on FanDuel and DraftKings. Weather looks good to go here tonight. We have a Coors Field game. We will avoid that here. Try to find you some plays outside of Coors Field. All right, let's get started in the outfield here. Our first pick, Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies. So Schwarber swinging a good stick here over the last couple games. 2 multi-hit games for him over those last 3. A home run in each of those 2 games, and has shown a lot of power against righties as we'd expect. 280 ISO since the start of last season. Also matches up very well here. Now, Silseth loves to throw the fastball to lefties. 305 ISO for Schwarber against that pitch. Now, Silseth, limited sample obviously here, but early on has struggled with left-handed hitters, allowing a lot of power. That ISO north of 300 here. So good matchup here for the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber leading us off here tonight in the outfield. All right, next play for us will stay in the outfield. Guy I think is a great buy low on the higher end. That's outfielder Byron Buxton of the Twins. Now, it wasn't too long ago, this guy was the MVP of the league here, so let's not forget how good he was. I know it's been a rough stretch here for Byron Buxton, but starting to wake up a little bit. Hits in 6 of the last 7 games, and the prices all the way down, under 5K on FanDuel. This guy was the most expensive player on all of DraftKings not too long ago. So again, a buy low can be on the higher end too. Buxton certainly the guy I want to go with tonight here. ISO, Woba, both up there against lefties. As you see on the screen, leads this Twins team. That 357 ISO, very impressive here. A ton of power here. Now Kikuchi, decent numbers against righties. Still giving up a 348 Woba, an ISO right at 200, but a lot of hard contact at over 40% to right-handed hitters. So Buxton, a good buy low option, very good, especially in the power department against lefties. Get him in those lineups tonight against Kikuchi. All right, let's go to the infield next at shortstop with the youngster, Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals. So Kansas City, one of those teams we're just not going to see a lot here in the Fantasy Bar. So I wanted to get Bobby Witt a spot here, get him a bar stool here on this Friday night. Now, been kind of quiet here of late, so we'll hope him hanging out here in the bar wakes up that bat, but I think we'll get low ownership here. We talked about big slate of games here, so he's not going to stand out. Anytime we get a guy of this caliber, this kind of upside at minimal ownership, something we want to look at in tournaments specifically. And to no surprise, leads this Royals team in both ISO, Woba, very good against the fastball, and Urquidy will use that pitch a lot. You see 56% of the time on average, that's his pitch to righties. Woba over 425 for Bobby Witt against that pitch, and Urquidy has had his struggles with righties. 343 Woba, that ISO up there 229, but that power mix we're always looking for. 45% fly ball rate, 41% hard contact rate. Low owned Bobby Witt, a solid tournament option for you guys here tonight. All right, let's go to the other side of the game. I think that one is stackable. Back to the outfield to round things out there with Yordan Alvarez of the Astros. Now, I absolutely love this matchup for Yordan Alvarez. Also, a guy swinging a red-hot bat right now. 4 straight multi-hit games. That gives him 5 multi-hit games now over the last 6. As we'd expect, numbers against righties, very, very impressive. 388 Woba, ISO at almost 300. Hard contact rate approaching 50% here. And this pitch type matchup definitely jumps off the page. And again, you can find all this information in our Plate IQ tool here on RotoGrinders, and you have a shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium at the end of the video to check all this out. But Singer loves to throw the sinker and the slider. Those are the main 2 pitches he's going to throw over 80% of the time to lefties. Yordan Alvarez against that sinker, and that's the main pitch, over 50%. 506 Woba, ISO at 421. That slider checking in at 30% of the time 387 WOBA, and a 359 ISO here for Yordan Alvarez. So you add it all up, guys, the price is certainly fair. Under 4K on FanDuel, right at 5 on DraftKings. A guy that's been tearing it up with multi-hit games seemingly every night, and a good pitching matchup here against Singer. Yordan Alvarez, one of the top bat options here for Friday night. All right, we owe you a starting pitcher here. A lot of great options on this slate. We're going with Shane Bieber of the Guardians. So consistency been the name of the game here for Bieber. Outside of one bad start, we throw that out. Been delivering pretty solid numbers here, especially in the strikeout department. 6 or more strikeouts now in 5 of the last 7 starts. So that's what we are looking for in our starting pitcher. The fantasy points have also been there. 17 or more DraftKings points in 6 of the last 9, and we've gotten many a ceiling games out of him as well. So a solid cash game option with that floor, the tournament ceiling that we are looking for, and a matchup we can certainly expose here against the Baltimore Orioles. 5 of those projected starters, 23% or higher strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. Bottom 10 in the league in WOBA against right-handed pitching. Bottom 12 in ISO, and bottom half of the league in strikeout rate this season. And Bieber been solid on the road this season. 18.7 DraftKings points per game over 6 road starts here. Baltimore, always a good matchup we can target here. Shane Bieber, my preferred pitching option here on this Friday night slate. All right, it's time. Take a look at my favorite play from Friday night. Before we do that, let's continue our Beast of the Night contest like I spoke about earlier. Chance to win some free RotoGrinders Premium. All you have to do, get in the comment section right below the video. Make sure you've hit that thumbs up button. And let me know fantasy points on FanDuel for my highest scoring hitter. The 5 bats I'm going to give you. All we need are those fantasy points on FanDuel. And I also want to hear your favorite play tonight. Who's your beast of the night on this big slate? Sound off in those comments section. Let's talk some Friday night baseball. All right, let's wrap this baby up. My favorite play from Friday night. You know, Mass, the beast of the night. All right, beast time. We're going back to the infield here with the big man at first base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. of the Blue Jays, tonight's beast of the night. So another guy like BUXTON, I think it's a great buy low here. Prices are as low as they've gotten all season long on DraftKings, all the way down to 4,300, mid-3s on FanDuel. So easy to fit in those lineups tonight. And again, gives you a little bit different build than the Coors Field build here tonight. But righty on righty, this guy's been one of the best in baseball. ISO approaching 300, WOBA north of 400 against righties. And Gonzalez, I'm telling you guys, I've been doing this a long time. These are some of the worst numbers I have ever seen in a pitching matchup here. WOBA 423 allowed to righties since the start of last season. ISO at 318. Strikeout rate at a lowly 12% against righties, and 39% fly ball rate, and an eye-popping 55.4% hard contact rate allowed. This is not the team you want to be allowing a ton of hard contact to. Toronto, a fantastic stack here tonight. And Vlad Guerrero Jr., easily my favorite play on the board in tonight's beast of the night. All right, guys, that wraps up here for Friday night in the Fantasy Bar. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or feedback, please hit me up in that comment section right below the video. You can also send any questions or messages over to me on Twitter at Beermakersfan. Don't forget, fantasy points on FanDuel for my highest scoring hitter for a shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium. And check out scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out in the Fantasy Bar. Enjoy the weekend. Good luck tonight, and we will see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist